Don't have me on the thing.
Warriors, come out to play. 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 Warriors, come out to play.
This song was my very first single. If you go on YouTube, you can find the music video. It's called Big Bang.
And that was Bone Daddy kicking off this episode of Weekend Warriors, the show where we show you cool shit that happened over the weekend that you might have missed, or maybe you were there. You might see yourself in the video if you were there. And we get to know somebody, a cool guest, and get to chat them up for a little while, and then we'll tell you about some cool shit happening this coming week and weekend. So thanks for joining us, guys, and thanks to Playboy for lining up that awesome intro to the show. And yeah, our friends Bone Daddy, you might have caught them. What was that, about a month ago on the show where we got Travis and Jack on?
Yeah, it was probably like 4 or 5 weeks ago.
So as seen on Weekend Warriors, and some other cool shows happen. We're going to tell you guys about. So on Friday night, we had the Kilmaine Saints and the Run Up and Party Monsters on a Train. We got fire for that guy, right?
Hell yeah.
Awesome Friday show, and then Saturday, of course, we had Maria Cadaver's birthday party. Awesome event. Sunset Society, Lust Kill, and Bone Daddy, who we just saw, and Sick the Ripper. Our good buddy Shep is in a band called Sick the Ripper, and to give you a little insight into the video we're going to see, our friend Amanda Pavel, who used to be in Think Tank with Shep, and actually that band started as Carriers that kind of morphed in and became Think Tank. So a band that Shep and Pabs and I started, and we played like acoustic forever, and then it became eventually Think Tank. And they went on. A lot of people love Think Tank, and so Pabs has been kind of out away doing the mom thing and just living that life, and got out of the scene. So it was the first time we'd seen Pabs out in a while, and she was kind enough to jump on stage and do a song with Sick the Ripper. So Shep, you got that video ready to go?
Yep, sure do.
All right, so this is Sick the Ripper from Maria Cadaver's birthday party.
She has been clean. She is part of a rare statistic. She is amazing. She has survived things none of us can imagine, and she is an amazing fucking mother. This motherfucker right here, her and I, inspired to write some music. And now we're about to throw down on some me, myself, and I. You see it?
Alright, test. I'm gonna fuck this up, sorry.
Hell yeah, let's fuck it up together. Yeah!
Man, what a special thing. I'm so glad that we were able to catch the video of that. Awesome song, and it was great to see Pabs up on that stage again, man. So
Throwing this out there, that song was actually written by Pigtail Crooks.
oh yeah, an
Long
old
hair.
Pigtail Crook song.
Yeah.
I remember that from back in the day when we first met, watching playing shows with Pigtail Crooks and shit. It was definitely a staple. And it's cool when songs can morph and kind of stay with you from band to band. They don't die.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always worried sometimes about songs dying. With
Well, not that one. That song's gonna live forever. It seems like.
So, yeah, we had that, and then on Friday at Long Shot was the PRN Retrograde Apparel Punk Rock Market that Ashley and I went out to. Had a great time. All kinds of booths set up, different vendors, all kinds of cool different little things, and you had artists of different sorts and people with like zines and stuff, and people selling VHS tapes. Just a little bit of everything. Very cool setting though. A lot of people showed up for it, and we were lucky enough to catch some videos of some really awesome bands. So I think you will have. Do you have Bingo Boys?
Sure do.
All right, let's start off showing a video of Bingo Boys. Bingo Boys, always awesome. Always a fucking good time seeing them play.
Hell.
And I think did we have video of Xander Hughes?
I do not.
Oh man. So Xander Hughes and the theremin played, and theremin is like the instrument where you kind of do this thing.
Oh, yeah. Like
and
here.
super awesome, super different, very original. And unfortunately, I guess we didn't have a video of them for today, but I know then Pilots, and I'm pretty sure we got a video of Pilots. So Pilots killed it, of course. Love those guys. And yeah, I think Shep's got that video ready to go. So let's check that out. A lot of videos this week, guys.
All the time. No man stereo. Typeset blow your mind. Jacob did it. 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 AM radio. Radio all the time. Yo man stereo. Whoa. Jacob did it. 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 AM radio. Radio all the time. Yo man stereo. Typeset, you know this. You know this. Jacob did it. 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 Susie did it. Jacob did it. Jacob did it. Jacob did it.
really going to know if it was Jacob or Kevin that did it, though. Man. I want part 2 of that song.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, pilots. I was talking to somebody. I was like, in a lot of ways, it's almost like there's this. I think Ashley was like, they remind me of California. It just seems so California to me. I'm like, I get it, and I think it's because there's like this little element of like the Beach Boys to it in a way. But then it's almost like Beach Boys meets Devo in sound. And I was like, to me, that's, I don't know. I love Pilots. I really do.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And then we have one more show to tell you guys about that happened last night at it was Punk Rock Night at the Melody Inn. And I'm pretty sure we've got a couple of videos to show you from this one as
Hell
well.
yeah.
We've been busy this weekend, guys. That's the whole point of Weekend Warriors. We're trying to get out to these shows and show these great bands to you. So if you're missing it, maybe you see a band and you're like, I got to go fucking see them next time. So yeah, we had Skaholics, Last Real Hero, and our good friends Leather and Mace, and did I say Faya? Faya?
From Texas.
Yeah, and Faya from Texas. And I'm pretty sure we got some video of Faya playing.
We sure do.
So let's check out Faya. I wasn't there, so let's check it out together, guys.
And no, it's not that cool. It's not a very progressive state. Thank you. Abortion was banned, not just in Texas, of course, other states as well, and it was really hard on us and all the women in the world. So, we naturally wrote a song about it. Sorry about the feedback. And the song is called "Stay in Your Lane."
Got a hell of a voice.
I love when we agree on stuff.
And that was Faya from last night at Punk Rock Night. Another band that played last night, I think it was their second show, if I'm not mistaken, is Leather and Mace, featuring my good buddy, my brother from the Tigers, me and Shep's brother, on the drums for Leather and Mace. And perfect timing showing up, bub. We're just getting ready to show a video from you guys from last night. So
yeah, I remember it all. I remember. This is gonna be great.
Well, I take a deep breath, 'cause I'm too dead.
Oh man, I wanted to hear the rest of that song. Man, Dennis, I always said if you could find a band that had a good singer, that you would be fucking like able to take that project to the next level. And I'm just so happy that you finally found a band with a fucking halfway decent singer.
Finally. Waited my whole life for this.
Wait, hold on. We played Leather and Mace.
Mhm,
We played Six the Ripper.
mhm.
And then what else are we? Oh no, that's not until tonight.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Forget about that for now.
I don't know if people can even hear me.
Probably not too well. You don't need to. Playboy's back there saying something. Fuck it. So, yeah, I think. Oh, one more show to tell you about that happened. I think last night at Long Shot, right?
Yeah.
You got that flyer?
I'm trying
Let's show Long Shot a little bit more love.
this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Chromorama and Black Powder and the Chapter Verbatim last night at Long Shot, and I'm sure that was a fucking awesome show. But speaking of awesome shows, there's a band joining us today that's been known to put on an awesome show and been part of several awesome shows that I'm sure a lot of you guys have been at. So without further ado, thank you so much for your patience with us today. We got I Got Worms joining us. We got Austin, Jen,
What up?
and Dave. Thank you guys for being on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Now, when was the last time that you played in Indy? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Oh, it wasn't that long ago. We did Sunday night with the Karens. It was a punk rock night. That was April 21st.
All right.
Yeah.
So, and getting ready to play another show coming up soon.
Yep. Next
with
Saturday.
Sex Blanket.
Yep.
And we'll talk more about that one later and get a chance to plug that. But so tell us about I Got Worms. Who are you guys as a band? And then we'll I want to get to know you individually a little bit too. But let's start out from, I Got Worms. How'd you guys get together and all that good jazz?
Go ahead, Shane.
I was going to say, I'll let you start it. You start it.
Well, we got married. And then we went
Like most husbands and wife, it's like, okay, are we going to start the band or not?
right. Exactly. It's like so.
Well, we're married now. What do we do? Well, let's
we
start
went.
a band.
Yeah, we went to our first show together, and it happened to be was it Covert Flops and Queers were playing at the Hi-Fi, right?
Yep.
That was the first show you went together
Yep.
as like a couple,
As
or
a couple, yeah.
So
Well, and first
how did
show,
you two meet initially? Was it through music or
No.
No.
You know, an app.
The
you
internet.
guys-
Old fashioned app.
Did you guys get a photo that night at the Cover Flops?
And we might. We might.
I bet we did.
Yeah. We usually take a selfie at most shows.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I was there. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good night.
it was.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, and then we decided after on the way home, it's like, let's start a band. And we did. So
did you know each other as musicians, or like had you
No.
guys discussed your musicianship
No.
individually? Or just
Like our musicianship was very different. Like he had been writing songs for a long time, playing guitar. I came from more of like choir, play piano type background. And so I don't know. We just kind of
yeah, music did not pull us together.
no.
And we never really talked about it because we was on both ends of the
Yeah.
spectrum. So there's nothing to discuss.
So I think yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear your crap. Don't talk to me about it.
yeah.
But and the same way with private stuff I was listening to. Like, I think you expressed you didn't like some of it.
Yeah.
So actually a very like dissimilar,
Yeah.
let's not talk too much
Right.
about music
That's-
because we don't like the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go out and see some local bands play and it like lit a fire, like whether, so was it originally going to be what it is, or did you have something as you were you kind of spitballing about what to do, or
Me personally, I don't know.
did you like
Well, we-
have some songs already that you were like, oh, we'll do like these songs I've already written?
We had to
or-
stay in the middle lane. It's like I couldn't do too much stuff I liked because she wouldn't do too much stuff she liked. So we found the common interest and just kind of stayed in that lane. Is that our favorite? My favorite? No, it's not. It's not really our favorite thing. Maybe.
Yeah, and I think that really
He's
shows
like, "I
on
don't like our
stage.
stuff."
I don't
you
like our
know?
stuff, man.
I think it really
even
comes
He's
like.
like, "Ugh,
I don't
put
even
up
like
another
this shit.
song." Here's another song. I hate it.
Yeah. But
But you
But
came
in the name
in-
of compromise.
is that accurate?
I mean, I'll say he came in with a lot of songs he had written for 20 years, right? Wouldn't you
right.
say?
Oh yeah.
You know, and so we kind of worked together to like groom them,
Right.
if you will, to make it something that fit.
We
for
both
us.
enjoyed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then how did Austin come into the mix?
Whenever we finally got our show figured out, then we was like, all right, let's add a drummer so we can take it live, and advertised on Bandcamp.
Band mix.
Band
Band
mix.
mix.
That's it. And needing a drummer, Indianapolis area punk rock, and he hit us up, came over, we had a rehearsal, and he was a perfect fit and the only candidate. So
Well, now I wasn't the first
No,
drummer.
no, he wasn't
I
the
wasn't
first.
actually,
that-
yeah, I guess there was another one that
And you tried out a couple that
Yeah.
didn't work out.
yeah, there's
The
Good
one-
drummers are
one-
very hard to
one
find.
they
kept-
are.
One kept telling Dave to like slow down. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, no, this is the speed of the
Yeah.
song.
Mhm.
But
But-
he couldn't keep up.
Right.
But
So, but yeah, once Jen and I figured everything out, the show and everything, then we, took it live, rehearsed with Austin. He whipped us into shape, told us we was doing everything wrong.
So you've been very successful with like placing ads and using the internet to
Big time,
get
yeah.
things together
Yeah.
in your relationship and your band. Like
Yes,
it's all
right. Thank you, internet, for bringing this band together.
right.
So how did you guys like hit it off at first? Was it like instant chemistry and I mean as a band, not in your relationship? We'll leave some things to the imagination.
You mean
but-
this isn't like a relationship show? It was love at
I mean,
first
it can
sight. No,
become
I'm just
that.
kidding.
Well,
can
apparently I
become
drank
that.
too much.
What? Okay, talking about Austin. Yeah, I mean,
Austin doesn't drink enough. Is that like the
not.
funny point? There?
I
Is it
don't
like
know.
Or,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't even know if that made sense. Did it?
No.
Dennis,
Okay.
grab
Okay,
like a
moving on.
few beers for Austin. Let's do
Okay, so anyways, our chemistry with Austin. What do we say?
Well-
Very professional, in my opinion.
Austin's very like what do I say? He's very like go with the flow, but also
You're-
good about speaking up on suggestions. Been a really good fit for us because he'll just be like, guys, that's not even in time, or
Right, that's
something
the
like
big one.
that. You
It's my number one question to him is this musically correct?
know?
What I just done is that
He's the real
musically correct?
musician of
Yeah.
the band.
So he made us professional, more professional level.
Well, this was my first band I've ever joined. So coming in, I was like, okay, I want to do the best job that I can. Like, and I've studied music on my own a while. So I was like, okay, let's, I want them to put their best foot forward. Like, and I want to help them do that in
Mhm.
any way that I can.
So how long have you been playing drums though?
I've been playing drums since I was 12 and I'm 27.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So been playing drums a long time, but this is
Mhm.
the first band you joined.
Mhm.
What was the reason for like not joining a band? in the past?
Growing up in a small town, there just was not like really small town, like 5,000 people, just like not much.
No bands really.
No bands or like
happening.
no other people with like similar musical interests
Mhm.
that, at the time I would not have joined a country band or, something like that. Yeah, it was just hard to find other musicians to begin with.
So what was it about that when you read the ad that they were looking for a drummer that made it interesting to you? Where you're like, oh, I gotta hit them up.
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I mean, like, to be honest, the name like really stuck out to me. I got worms. And then I heard they had the first album had already been out that Dave had recorded, and I was really interested in that. And I was like, this could be something really fun to play along to.
And that was with another drummer that you already had, or were you like?
Yeah, I
it-
started this project, I guess, kind of by myself.
Yeah.
This particular one, because This is not the original band Jen and I started.
Right.
That one disintegrated. But so once that disintegrated, I started this one myself. That I was planning on having a different bass player and whatever drummer, but I done it with a studio drummer, and I'd done everything else myself, and had 2 albums I'd done that way. By the time we decided,
the second one wasn't out yet when
Right.
we added, and so at that point we were talking about. I ended up joining as
in,
bass
yeah.
player, and then we were like, okay, we need a drummer. Let's start doing shows.
Yep.
So you already had basically 2 albums out before there was ever actually a live performance of the band at all?
Yep. 2 full albums and a video for every one of them. We like making music videos for every one of them, just for content.
And we did videos as a band.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the second album.
But yeah, I'd done all that under, it's like, cause I wanted to have something more than just an idea, I wanted to have songs, ready to go. So then a hired, musician could come in and easy money. Just to take the show live.
Dave's always been a big proponent of like, if you're going to be doing shows, have something for people to come look at. Make sure you've got good content on your site and videos and things like that. So
now, what are there any bands that you had before that we would know the names of at all, or
no? Jen and I started a project that never got off the ground, and
funnily, I quit because I didn't want to do live shows. I was terrified, and then eventually, like before joining, I got Worms. I warmed up to it. Now it's my favorite part of it. Yeah, 100%. So,
well, once you get on the stage and you get like, I don't know, it becomes definitely an itch then to keep one that you want to keep scratching.
Yeah.
You know, the adrenaline, there's not quite another high that's the same as like putting on a live performance.
And it's almost like I forget what that high feels like until we do another show. And then it's like, can we do it again tomorrow and the day after? It's just, it really is a high.
I remember after our first show at Vintage.
Vintage Guitar in
Center
Noble.
Center
Stage.
Stage.
Yeah. That was our first.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
First anything, which was a perfect way to start out
was.
because it's like
There were like 8
just an
people there.
intimate area. Yeah.
Did you guys?
We were terrified.
Did you guys bite and use some of their equipment?
No.
Well, I used the drum kit that was already there.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're all about that. They're like play our
I know.
1972
Yeah.
Les Paul custom with whatever. It's like, oh god.
Yeah. When I went in there, and what's his name? Kevin?
I think that's right. Yeah.
I just went in there by myself. That's what I found the board. I found out that they did the
Oh yeah,
the
that
shows.
was your suggestion.
And
Like
then
the live stream.
Yep.
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, because I also play a little guitar, and he's like, oh, play this. Like you said, this like old Fender. It's like, no, I don't. I'm not going to do that.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to break it somehow, and then I can't pay for that.
So when we booked, Tie Like a Tiger played it. I did a photo shoot for Missing Figures when they played there, and I talked to the guy Kevin. We think, and I was like, oh shit! Like their next available date was my birthday, so I signed this up and I put my information down, and they put. At the time we were Fiverr, but it was like, what did it say? Fiverr
featuring Shipwreck Shep.
Yeah.
Like that was like the biggest part on there. It was like Fiverr featuring Shipwreck Shep.
That's funny.
Well, the big star Shipwreck.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's my birthday.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I'm the big deal here.
You gotta let them have one every once in a while, though. It's like. So what? You kind of had the 2 albums. You guys get everything together, start playing live with Austin. How long ago was that? When did you guys kind of start?
That was 2022, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, wasn't it? Was it in the middle of this? No, it was September.
Yeah,
that was our
September
first show,
22.
but we started playing together in
June.
May,
Yeah.
Or
May or
July.
June.
Yeah. And then first show was September 2022. We did the vintage guitars, and then I think 2 weeks after that
Punk
we
rock
did
night, yeah.
our punk rock night. So that was like our second show ever. So
And
also terrifying.
So what's like been the coolest show that you guys have played? Do you think? You have one that stands out as being like super hype, super awesome.
I think the one at Treehouse in Terre Haute, the first one we did. I think.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, and the time we filled in at Black Circle,
Oh yeah,
Mm.
that was great too.
there's
Yeah.
a big crowd there. Not for us, for the band
We were
we
just
played.
villains,
Sure.
But it's like, hey,
it was
yeah,
a great show.
yeah, that's a great show.
Yeah, I definitely have played more shows where they weren't there for us.
Yeah.
But like then they got into us
Yeah.
once we were playing or whatever. And it was awesome, you know.
Yeah. You love a good crowd, so
Mhm.
it's so interesting about how the energy, because we've had some shows where it's like people are a mile away
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they're in like 2 rows in the back of the room, and everything you say is like complete silence.
Yeah.
And it's
Mhm.
just like
You feel guilty about even
like
being
your
loud.
energy level during the show just kind of
Yeah.
falls off, which sucks, but you know, it is what it is.
I had a dream last night and I was trying to figure out, I think it was the band Lit, like my own worst enemy. And it's just such a random thing, but like they were playing in the living room. And it wasn't like my living room. I was just happened to be there hanging out or whatever. It's like they're setting up and it's like, oh, this is like Lit. I've got their CD somewhere. Like, and so, but they're like, oh, you know, it's really awesome playing in this living room.
They're like, I'm so excited
Yeah.
to be here.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, hey, I got your CD. Can I get an autograph? And they're like, yeah, I don't know what I think to hear about like the moral of the story there is always perform like you're playing to 500 fucking
Right.
people, you know,
Yeah.
even if
Mhm.
there's, you know, 3 guys standing against a wall and not even clapping after the songs. Like it's important to at least try
Oh, for
to
sure.
put
Yeah.
on the show every time, but it is definitely easier to do when they're like vibing on you and they're up front singing and dancing around. It's, you know, it's definitely easier to get there for sure.
Well, in every show where we felt like we're like, hey, was anybody there except for the bands or whatever? Almost every show that's happened, we've gotten another show from it. So
Mhm.
like there's nothing that's like, first of all, we like to play. So really you're not out anything. But then nothing's wasted from like moving the band forward because hey, we got another show from this. So that's productive in and of itself.
Yeah.
So
And especially in the early time for a band, I think it's really important. Like as many shows as you can take, basically, if they're getting offered to you, because you're wanting to build the relationship with the people that are like offering the shows.
yeah.
And obviously you're trying to get your name out there. And so yeah, especially early on, it's like the more you can be blipping on people's radars, like I got Worms is out here, and then eventually you get to where it's like, maybe will you select shows a little more carefully or whatever. You
And
know?
we do not like to say no. So it's
Right.
like we're very much like if we can make it work, which poor Austin, we're constantly like, what are you doing tonight? Like if it's an opportunity to even fill in, we'll take it. So
I just want to throw this out there. Like over the last few years, like if there has been a band that has saved ass and swooped in to save the day, like for a band that's dropped off, it's you guys. You guys are the absolute like rock stars when it comes to like helping out and
thank you.
coming in and filling in whenever something goes wrong. You guys are awesome about that.
Thank you.
Just want to throw that out there.
Cool.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
That was us a few years ago. I feel like almost like during the COVID time or whatever.
Oh,
It seemed like 2 or 3 shows in a row where we weren't booked for it. Somebody dropped off. It was like, hey, the Tigers play. Like, fuck yeah, all right, yeah.
Hell yeah, we got to play with the Bobby Lees because of that.
Mm,
It was an awesome show.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Felt like Black Circles too.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned the Birdhouse out in Terre Haute, and I feel like I've seen you guys. So tell us about the Birdhouse. Are you guys like, do you book that a lot or
Treehouse.
Yeah.
Treehouse?
Yeah,
I'm
Treehouse.
sorry.
It's
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
it's a college bar right in the Indiana
ISU.
Like-
ISU, campus area right there. So it's the college bar for the area, right across from a sorority house and frat house and stuff. So and it's got a great crowd that comes, a daily crowd, So and it's usually packed on a Friday and Saturday night, and you can book shows there. What's what's his name?
I don't remember his name, but we do have a relationship.
Yeah,
with him now.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I think we was one of the few first punk shows to start.
Yeah,
there.
because you reached out to him and
Yeah.
was just like, "Hey, I'd like to play there sometime." Because he's from like the Terre Haute area.
Oh, right.
I used
Um,
to live in Terre Haute a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both from that area.
Yeah, he's from Linton.
Yeah, I'm from
Okay.
Linton.
Yeah, I went to Lost Creek Elementary for
Oh,
a
okay.
second, and then I went to Terrytown
Yeah.
Elementary. Had cousins that were going to Woodrow Wilson, I think, and Terre Haute North High
Yeah.
School. Anyway, so yeah,
Yeah.
family from there and whatnot.
Does it still smell funny out there?
No, they got rid of the. It was a railroad tie plant where they made railroad ties with the creosote that they put in there.
Oh, is that what that smell was?
Oh yeah, and you could smell that town from 20
Oh my
miles
God.
away, all the time. It was
Yeah.
horrible.
For a long time, that was like the thing about
Yeah.
Terre Haute. It's like it stinks.
Yeah,
Of course, you're nose blind to it when you live there.
Yeah, you
don't
never-
smell that shit.
yeah.
Ever play at like Old Mill Dam or anything like that? Did you ever
No.
reback like Wigwam skating rink?
No, no. We only played one place over there.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like
Well, no, I meant Old Mill Dam as far as like when. Did you grow up in? Terre
Oh
Haute?
no, I actually grew up like south of Terre Haute. so-
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's this really cool like little waterfall kind of thing with a train track next to it and a little like cave thing. And we used to just go there and like you could get under the railroad track while the train was like going over the railroad track over your head. And yeah, I don't know. Cool. I have very good childhood memories from Terre Haute.
Right.
Lived in a haunted ass house for a while. That was wild. Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway. So the tree house though, you guys get some bookings there pretty much like whenever you want, or
Yeah, you can pretty much book a show there anytime you want. They're always open. They're not like a lot of these venues that's just booked out, for the entire year. But if you want a date, they probably have it open, and they have a PA system there. We also know a guy,
Sound guy.
a sound
Yeah.
guy in the Terre Haute area that runs sound there. That's even better than their equipment. But it's a good place to have.
Oh, and they have like an outdoor, like on the second
Yeah, it's
floor.
an
They have
outdoor.
an outdoor area, so that's where we've been playing, which
Yeah.
is really cool. To
yeah.
and you can
like
play.
we were playing as like the sun was setting.
Oh,
out
yeah.
there, so it was super cool.
We played like when it was cooler in the fall at Halloween, and outside, and that was totally awesome, and everybody loved it because it was outside.
I love outside shows.
Yeah,
Mhm.
same.
Well, hey, we'll have to set something up.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I got a
And the
few
people
bands I might know that might want to
Hell yeah.
come over to Terre Haute and play.
and the locals,
Well,
they
fun
react
fact.
big to it there because they don't have a punk scene there.
Yeah.
Well, fun fact: Republican Sex Blanket was on the ticket.
Oh,
for
they
the
was.
first- when we first booked
Right.
the Treehouse. But then I think that you guys had to drop
Yeah.
off or something. So.
Maybe a
Yeah.
drummer situation or something.
Yeah. So
I think that I remember that. Yeah.
So we're thinking what, September? Time
no,
like a tiger.
We've already burnt the bridge.
I
Didn't you
got
hear it?
worms.
Like we were supposed to play and we blew it.
we don't forgive and we don't forget.
Oh man.
No, let's do it. Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
All right, stop yelling at me about the microphone, man. I got these short ass headphones on trying to do things. I've had to pee since we began. Do you think that it would be a good time to
Yeah.
throw a little video up and let me get situated? All right. Let's roll some fucking beautiful bean footage, Shep.
Let's,
Roll that.
And then we'll come back and talk more with I Got Worms, guys.
Yeah, we'll do a video with the button for our sponsor.
Yeah.
What
sent Wednesday, July 16th at 9:05 p.m.
Hey, it's Ben Roth. I can't make court. Tried to call Bull at least 1,000 times. Sure, you've already heard about it. Chopped litter is a fucking bitch. All I have to do is answer the fucking phone and they would know last minute shit came up. I can't make it. Don't worry. We'll get our fucking $20. Fucking bastards. Not one of you can answer your fucking phones. Fuck you. Fuck all of you.
Ghostbusters are here, Mr. Mayor.
Ghostbusters. Okay, the Ghostbusters. Hey, where's this Peck?
I am Walter Peck, sir, and I'm prepared to make a full report. These men are consummate snowball artists. They use sense and nerve gases to induce hallucinations. People think they're seeing ghosts. And they call these bozos who conveniently show up to deal with the problem with a fake electronic light show.
Everything was fine with our system until the power grid was shut off by Dickless here.
They caused an explosion.
Is this true?
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Break it up. All right. Well, that's what I heard.
Right.
Man, what a sick burn. The last thing I want somebody to do is call me dickless, bro. Them spiting words, you know? Classic Ghostbusters, man. Oh,
Man,
yeah.
I feel like I need to go back and rewatch
know.
them. I haven't seen them.
Have you seen the newer
Haven't
ones?
seen the new
Mm.
I have
ones
not.
either.
There's two new ones, right?
Yeah.
And there's
I
another
saw-
one coming out soon.
Yeah.
Like pretty soon, right? I think.
One just came out.
It just came
Yeah,
out.
one
just
just
Okay.
came out.
Yeah.
With
Like
the
I-
Frozen
Frozen
Kingdom. or
Empire.
something. Yeah.
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 It's good. It's good. I
Uh,
liked it.
what's his face taking over kind of like the Ghostbusters thing, huh? What's his name? The actor?
Oh, you're talking about
Josh. No.
no.
I think Josh is his name in Clueless.
I can't think of his name either. Whatever. The guy
Peter?
from-
No.
the guy from 40-Year-Old Virgin and This is 40 and
Yeah, it's killing me. I can't. You guys don't know
Was it
who
Phil Rudd?
we're talking about?
Phil Rudd.
Oh, Paul Rudd.
All right.
Paul
Paul
Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Paul motherfucking Rudd.
Oh, was he's in the Ghostbuster movies?
yeah.
These newer ones. I think it's like
Oh.
now it's kind of
I
like
didn't know
him
that.
taking over
That
the
changes
shit.
things.
Wow.
I can't tell if it's the
We're way
headphones or
behind
me
on
or a little bit of both
Ghostbusters.
here.
What'd you
We're
say?
way behind on.
I know. Last
yeah.
one we saw was the one where the women.
I didn't see
Mm.
that one.
Which that was a good
I
one.
never saw
Yeah,
that
that's
one.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
you
I liked it.
I do not remember it.
Yeah.
I wanted to like it, but I just thought almost all the jokes were falling flat for me in that one. I don't know. Felt try hard, but
Yeah, you will have that.
Yeah.
But then they revived it with Paul Rudd. I know you're a huge Ghostbusters fan. We got some other friends out there that are huge Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
What are
shout
you
out.
guys is like? We were talking about Dune a little bit before the show and my love for like, what are you guys is like nerd
Star Wars.
passions?
Yeah, the Star Wars, Christopher Nolan movies.
Oh yeah. I like superheroes too.
So, yeah, we was on.
I've probably-
we haven't
I've-
seen Marvel for a while, but we was
No,
up to
we
date
kind
on,
of fell off of it
on every one of them. We're
when they
That's-
started doing the shows.
yeah,
And then
I-
I stopped watching the movies because we
Became
didn't watch
so
the show.
much to try to
and
keep
it's
up
like-
with it all,
Yeah.
didn't
too
it?
much.
So as soon as they started the shows is where we fell off. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's like, well, now I'm out of the loop here.
I did watch the ones on Netflix originally, like the Daredevil and Jessica
Oh, didn't
Jones
see those
and
either.
Iron Man, Luke
I
Cage.
knew people who really liked
like,
those. Though.
that was a little darker.
Yeah.
Punisher came in.
Mhm.
That stuff was really awesome. But I'm more of a DC guy. I'm more
Mm.
like Superman and Batman are my
Mhm.
definite go-tos. What's favorite Batman movie?
And we haven't seen the Robert Pattinson one yet.
Oh,
Is
you gotta
that
check
good?
it. It's
I was thinking about
super
it the other
good.
day. I can't believe we haven't seen
I mean,
it.
I guess I've heard mixed opinions on it, but it's like super dark, super noir, kind of like, OG Batman. He doesn't necessarily have all the shit together yet, so it's kind of, I don't know, I love it. I've heard they're making a second one for it too, and can't wait. But there's only one right answer as far as favorite Batman.
It has to be the first one, doesn't it?
No, the Dark
Batman
Knight.
Returns.
Batman Returns.
Batman Returns.
Batman
for
Returns?
sure.
Wait,
For sure.
like that's the Danny DeVito Penguin.
Yeah, Penguin and Catwoman.
I see. I don't remember. Like I remember the first one. I don't remember the second one. I remember the Jim Carrey, Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Yeah,
50,000 villains.
I think that's Batman and Robin.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Batman and Robin.
No, that's
And then-
Batman Forever.
No, Batman Forever. Oh yeah, Batman Forever is Jim
Tommy Lee
Carrey.
Jones,
Yeah,
Carrey,
you're
Drew
mixing two of them up. Arnold Schwarzenegger's in Batman and Robin
Oh, okay.
with Poison Ivy, Uma Thurman. That one's so campy and stupid, but it's so good. It's so hilarious because of it. But yeah, Batman Returns is definitely the best.
See, now I need
It's
to
arguably
rewatch
the
this
best
series.
superhero movie of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is quite the endorsement.
That was the first Batman I watched.
It's
here,
perfect.
So I didn't get to see the first one. I was too young, but I was just kind of old enough to watch
Well,
Returns.
So the first one with Jack Nicholson as Joker is super good. It's super good, but it's also a little slow for a kid.
Oh,
It's got a lot more kind of drama to it and whatnot. And I feel like Batman Returns, it just every single moment of that movie is perfect, perfectly paced, action packed. Got a little, Danny DeVito as the Penguin is probably so dark and but you feel sorry for him as a villain because he was an orphan and he was a freak, and so you understand why he's feels like he's doing the right thing as this villain, and really the ultimate villain in that fucking movie is Max Schreck, Christopher Walken's character. And that's the thing when you've got this movie and it's Penguin and Catwoman are in it, and that was the first one also where we had multiple villains show up, and then as good as they are and they fucking awesome, but Christopher Walken as Max Schreck is really the one that's his intentions are just evil and fucking greed. And so I don't know.
We actually just wrote a song about the movie The Dark Knight of the Scarecrow.
Okay.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you've
Is that a
seen
movie?
it. Yeah.
I
It
didn't
was
know that.
I think it aired on TV. It was
Oh,
like a
so it's.
TV
I thought
movie.
you were saying because you also said isn't Christopher Nolan didn't he do the Batman?
Oh, yeah,
with
he did
Christian
as
Bale.
Scarecrow. Yeah,
those are
yeah.
Christopher Nolan movies, right?
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
first one had Scarecrow.
Yes, this is true.
So Dark Knight of the Scarecrow.
It's from when was that from?
I was it's an interesting way to
70s?
say that, but
He's that's not at all what it's called.
Yeah. This was a Dark Knight and Scarecrow was a low budget 70s horror movie.
But it was interesting because it's the Scarecrow kills people, if you will, but he's actually not the true villain because it was the ghost of this wrongfully killed mentally slow guy, and he was wrongfully killed by these people, and he comes back and he kills them. But it's the real
so it's a
villain.
revenge story.
It's a revenge story, but it's clear the real villain is the postman.
He's
So
the leader of the local thugs.
yeah.
And
So
in the whole
anyways,
movie he's wearing his postal outfit, and it's
you should watch it sometime.
yeah, and
It's a good time.
and that just makes it even better. This postman running around.
Anyways, you would
Dave,
think the
I
Scarecrow's
feel
the
like we
villain,
need
but
to get
this
the
guy's
mic a little closer on you, just so you know. Maybe it's just me. My headphones are a little whack now, but anyway, I don't want to fixate on that. We're having a good time, as long as it sounds good on.
So what is your
The
favorite?
channels.
Is it Dark Knight? Is that
a
favorite horror?
Batman.
Oh, a movie. Mine's easy.
Okay.
And it's because it's one of the first ones I ever saw of the Batman franchise. It was the one with the Christian Bale in it.
What-
'Cause there was two of them.
There's 3.
Okay, and that whole series was freaking awesome in my opinion.
Yeah.
But that was my.
I
first
hated the one with Bane.
I was gonna
And,
say Bane was
I
actually
thought
the
the
one.
fight at the end, was really wow, we could have done that ourselves,
Yeah.
But I kind of like the switcheroo they did with it.
How so? What about it?
Well, the girl that's been in the movie turns out she's the one in charge, and it's
Oh, yeah.
Bane's almost like her lackey,
yeah.
if you will. And like they had been showing you her as a little girl, but you actually think it's a little boy, and you think that's probably Bane's character, and it turns out it's her. So it's like a little switcheroo, which I like.
But that's my favorite, just because I think it's the only one I ever seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably top 5 lines of any movie of all time is in Dark Knight, in my opinion. I kind of want to show it to you.
Okay.
A long time ago, I was in Burma. My friends and I were working for the local government. They were trying to buy the loyalty of tribal leaders by bribing them with precious stones. But their caravans were being raided in a forest north of Rangoon by a bandit. So we went looking for the stones. But in 6 months, we never met anyone who traded with him. One day, I saw a child playing with a ruby the size of a tangerine. The bandit had been throwing them away.
So why steal them?
Well, because he thought it was good sport. Because some men aren't looking for anything logical, like money. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
So, which one of you guys just wants to watch the world burn?
I think that's me.
That Austin just kind of struck me as the type.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've talked a little bit about superhero movies and Star Wars. We didn't really get into that new series. Is anybody watching that yet? Or
Not yet. I think they've only had a couple episodes come out. That what is it? That
Acolyte, right?
Yeah.
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 It
Haven't
looks
watched that
super
yet.
good.
I saw a trailer for it. It looked really cool.
I've been very satisfied with all the new Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean there isn't
every
there's
one
none
of them.
I didn't like.
I think I'm not saying they're absolutely perfection, but they're really doing a good job.
Well, I think the Jon Favreau Star Wars
Yeah.
specifically
Yeah.
to me. I think the movies were hit and miss.
Big time.
I really hate The Last Jedi with a passion. I think that was like
I actually liked that
purposeful,
one.
and it's so funny. Like when I hear people, like when I talk to people about it at all, it's almost always that I'm met with like, "Oh, that was like my favorite one," and I'm like, "But it was like such a kick in the dick to Star Wars fans."
I get that, but like I enjoy Star Wars casually. So like I thought it was interesting that they took things in such a different direction. That's what I enjoyed about it. They took all these conventions and they're just like, no.
Can I ruin it for you? Can I tell you why it sucks so bad?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So you start out with Luke Skywalker, like cowering puss. He don't want to join the fight. You don't want nothing to do with any of it. That's not our Luke Skywalker. That's not like, that ain't the spirit of the Jedi. Like, you know, like, so I hated that. Like, that's how we find him. And then I thought that the fact that like kids that weren't Jedis at the end, it's like, oh, you know, the Force is for everyone. And it's like, no, that takes away from like the whole special thing about having these Jedis that can use the Force. Like, it's not supposed to be like little kids can just move brooms with them, you know, and shit like that. So I hated that. And then the fact that at the end, like, so Luke Skywalker finally shows up and it's like, finally we get this thing. And he like basically defeats the Empire by himself. Badass. But he's not really there. He's meditating on a rock and just astral projecting, because he still didn't want to get, and I don't know, like, to me, it's more badass if he's just there and he's doing all this cool shit because he's that strong in the Force. And like, then it can maybe even be like, oh, the reason he didn't want to start is because he knew he was like this powerful now. And so he had to really pick some, I don't know.
You
They
make
could have
an
done,
excellent
oh, I
point,
agree
because
with
it's
you
like,
100%.
he was so talented when he first started. It would be like, okay, where is he now? What can he do?
Yeah.
Like, he's been training for all these years. What can he do now? And there was never anything other than, you know, astral projection. You know, I guess that's the new, but still. No, that's fair.
Yeah, they didn't have to kill him off either. You know, I mean, he's Luke Skywalker. Why kill off?
Well, after you already
an iconic.
after you already killed off Han Solo.
Yeah, why kill
like,
off the two most iconic people?
I'm just saying that I don't know what he's talking about. I thought Luke's character was a little bitch in the first three, and they continued on that little bitch personality throughout the
Also
No,
a good point.
Listen,
Yeah.
that's
Those are
not
also
a good
points.
point because you're right. Like,
I don't
so
want
the
it to
first
be
one,
that
especially the first one, he's supposed to be like a punk teenager, kind of getting sucked in on this and whatnot. And he doesn't want anything to do with being like, he doesn't know. But like, that's the thing is you're right. Like, that is his character, purposely so in the first one. But then you get to Return of the Jedi when he shows up in all black at Jabba's fucking pit and he's like waving his way in. And now he's like, badass. And when he jumps off the fucking diving board into the thing and does the flip and catch, and fucking R2 kicks out the lightsaber in the air and he fucking catches it while he's flipping. And like, now he's the dude, man. So we can't regress back to him being like, come on.
Emo Skywalker,
All right.
all black.
That's also fair. You all make excellent points. What I didn't like though, Rise of Skywalker was just very much like the lack of continuity
Yeah,
and thought
yeah.
over the trilogy. Like I get like the Palpatine could have been like a cool reveal
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
if they had been planning that from the beginning, but then they were
It
just
came
like,
out of nowhere.
oh, by the way,
Yeah.
Palpatine's
Oh, and by the way,
back.
who the hell
and
was
like,
Snoke?
and,
Yeah.
and the beginning credits that are usually like very inside, it was like they were written for like a 12-year-old to like,
Oh, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
we're gonna like, it was the worst opening credit. As soon I'm reading it and it's like, oh, like the days of the radio, the emperor's under attack. I don't know, like this weird, and I was just like, and it was super short, and I'm like, I'm already
Yeah.
like going into that from the very beginning of it. I was just like, what? And there was like a couple of cool like force tricks where like stops the ship and like does this thing or what. Like there were a couple of cool moments to it, but like other than that, that movie sucked too. I felt like it was better than Last Jedi. I honestly thought Force Awakens was the best one of the three.
Yeah.
And like
Had
to me, everybody
had
kind of
potential.
says, oh, it's just such a carbon copy of New Hope. And I'm like, I think that there are elements that they like very much were kind of like, we're going to reskin it a little bit. And now you're going to have this next generation after. But like the thing of it is the prequels had all came out. And the prequels were too polished. He was too obsessed with CGI at the
Oh,
time.
yep,
And
for
so,
sure.
so much of the feel of the original three, like the kind of the sharp corners to
Yeah.
things and the obtuseness of it and the dirt, where it was like dropped you in on a place that's been lived in already for a while. And you got that sense. It's like, to me, the prequels missed all that.
Mhm.
And so then when they came back with Force Awakens, I was like, oh, look, he's got the dirt right.
Yep.
He's got the grit on things. The outfits are back to being clunky and kind of silly, look like in all the right ways. I don't know. So to me, Force Awakens, at least it was pulling at me in those ways throughout the whole thing. I was totally invested. But like then the next two sucked. I thought Rogue One was like arguably of all the newer line of movies, Rogue One's probably still my favorite.
I really
Oh, that was a good one.
I really
Rogue
liked
One
that
was
one.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then John Favreau, once he took like the Boba Fett stuff and all that's been super fucking good. Mandalorian.
Did you ever watch any of the animated shows?
So I've tried so hard to, but like I cannot stand the animation itself.
Oh,
I don't like it either.
I hate the look of it.
Really?
And so it makes it so distracting to
Oh.
me that I cannot get into any of it. And I hear like there's awesome lore there. There's all
Yeah.
kinds of
Great
like
storyline.
cool
yeah.
things to the stories, but it's like I just hate the way that it looks so much.
Yeah, I'm right
can't
there
watch
with
it.
you. I don't like the style
That's
of it.
fair. I really liked them though. Like they were a
It's
little
like-
bit to get into. They were a little like chaotic and all over the place
Yeah.
to start out with, but then it's like they kind of got focused on it and it was really good.
Yeah, I've heard they're really good. Like
Yeah.
people that are really into Star Wars that I've known, like they always say those are the best. Like that has the best content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't get past the animation style.
So it's funny, like it makes me think of the fact, and maybe we can get just like slightly deeper on a subject here, a little bit spinning off of this. But so my dad was like a religious fanatic, and sometimes he would be on one about things, and other times he wouldn't. And so I remember it being like a thing as a kid, like Star Wars, when it would come on TV. My dad was cool with it. Like, look, it was, he was a big Star Trek fan. Like, he was a Trekkie for sure. But like, Star Wars was cool too.
Mhm.
Well, this one time, like, I wanted to he had just like basically up in the middle of the night, we moved to Kentucky. It's a whole long story. I won't get into all that. But like we stopped at this grocery store before we went to where we like were staying for the night before we actually moved into our house or whatever. And there was a Star Wars magazine, and this is after like this is pre the prequels coming out. So Star Wars was just a thing that had happened at this point, and like there was a trilogy of movies. And so this magazine was kind of like, oh, everything you need to know about the Star Wars movies and what. And I wanted it so bad. And he was like, well, boy, I just don't know about Star Wars anymore. Because he was on one about the Force and it being like,
like
you
in
know,
witchcrafty or something.
Yes. And he was like, there was a point where it's like all my comic books, he was like, got on one like, oh, superheroes, that's idol worship, like burnt all my comic book collection, shit like that. But I think it all like also like added that little thing for me of like, I love fucking Star Wars. And how dare you? And like, yeah, it made it that much more of like, burn all my comic books. I'll love comic books forever. You can't stop me.
That's right.
So with your guy, like I know me and Shep have kind of a similar background when it comes to like he had very religious parents and had to listen to like Christian music and stuff a lot. Very, you know, what we would know as secular music if you're from that other side of the fence, like was not allowed to listen. I remember hearing the song I Want Your Sex by George Michael on the radio and feeling like my dad cannot know I've heard that, you know. So what is your guys like growing up as kids? What was music in your life?
Mine was pretty cool. My mom was the only one that listened to music of my parents. My dad never did, never heard him, never have a radio on. He'd always turn it down. When we got in the car, me and my sister would have it up and he would turn that stuff up. Mom, though, always had records of anywhere from George Jones to Fats Domino, you know, kind of
country and kind of thing,
and classic rock, you know. But you know, but she'd always have that playing, and she never put in restrictions really on what we'd listen to, but we wasn't listening to nothing bad, you know. It was country and like some of the hair metal bands, Poison and stuff like that, and she approved of that. So but that was pretty much it. Growing as a kid, you know, we didn't push any boundaries. So
what about you, Jen?
All right, 3 things. Christian music, same as you guys, musicals, and oldies. So we were always listening to one of those. Vacations, I have a mixture of, you know, Lion King and the Righteous Brothers, you know. I went to a Righteous Brothers concert with my parents, and I was decades younger than anybody else.
Is that like, oh my love?
Yeah, Chain Melody. Yeah. Oh man,
one
I
of the
love
greatest
them.
songs of all time, for sure. Honestly.
And then we watched a lot of musicals, just listened to a lot of musicals, and yeah. And then it's like I think junior high is when I started listening to secular radio. Like my parents didn't have a problem with that or anything
Venturing
like that.
out, though.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much what I was raised on.
Awesome. What about you as a kid?
Good old country music.
Yeah.
Small town. No, the thing is, when I was little, I hated country music. Like I resented it so much. And I don't really know why, but I feel like I've finally come around. I've accepted it. But between that and like my brother, so like my mom was country music. My brother, who was 13 years older than me, so I got a lot of my musical influence from him, and he listened to like metal and classic rock and stuff like that. And then my dad would just he's an oddball and just would listen to anything and everything. And I feel like between all that, I just have a really eclectic collection of music that I would listen to and hear around me.
So then what was, when you started getting into rock, punk rock, like what was going on? What was the music you started listening to that got you into rock and punk rock?
What really got me into rock was like Foo Fighters, honestly. And then just like that whole 90s era, like looking back and listening to like grunge, and I grew up on a lot of new metal when I was really young.
You said you're 27.
Mhm.
You sticking to that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, a lot. So the new metal and stuff when you were a kid
Mhm.
would have been probably about the same as to where grunge was for me as a kid. Like,
Mhm.
because for me, like grunge was new. I was about 12, 92 when like all the grunge shit hit, Alice in
Mhm.
Chains and Nirvana and Pearl Jam and everything. And yeah, I feel like before that I wasn't super into music. And even to say that I got super crazy about grunge would not really be true. It wasn't until I was about 16 that I actually really got into music. Uh, but you mentioned Foo Fighters. I remember realizing when I wanted to start writing music that I didn't know how, like, it was like, how do songs go? How do
Mhm.
you actually how do they know where to stop? And
Yeah.
like things like that, you
Mhm.
know? And so I dissected, like I recorded, I think off the radio,
Mhm.
probably a Foo Fighter song. And I can't remember if it was Monkey Wrench or My Hero, maybe one of
Mhm.
those. Uh, but I basically like figured out verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, out kind of thing. And that like so it was totally like dissecting a Foo Fighters song
Mhm.
that was like, okay, I know music theory now. We're good. Like,
Yeah.
we can go. So what about like you, Jim, when it comes to rock and roll and punk, like
Well, so my first punk-ish band that I listened to was Reliant K. Again, coming off the country or the Christian music, and I played them incessantly for a while there. And then since then, it was like really once I got together with him, kind of getting exposed to the greats, if you will.
mhm.
So, and I'm still, getting familiar and listening to that stuff. So, um, it's been fun. I like it. I like it a lot.
What about you, Dave?
I would say my gateway was John Cougar Mellencamp,
Mm.
and he was a little country, a little rock, and then I kind of spiraled into all right. So so I started listening to more rock stations and stuff on the radio because this was mid '90s, early
Mhm.
'90s, and you had to get your stuff on the radio. But and then probably my gateway band was Green Day, and once you discover Green Day, then that trail that'll take you on, and that led to Social Distortion,
Mhm.
Bad Religion, stuff like that, and then Blink 182, and but yeah, that was pretty much my.
So I can remember being in about 4th grade and I had this buddy at so for me, it was like I was the older brother. I was the oldest brother of me and my brother. But I had friends with older brothers that corrupted us.
Of course.
And so I can remember staying the night at my buddy Ricky's house and his brother Tyson had s- uh oh Sex Pistols and Dead Kennedys tapes. And I remember seeing like just Sex Pistols, Dead Kennedys. And I'm like, Dad's gonna be so mad if he finds out I was like even seeing this stuff. And so it was very like shocking to me, just the band names and stuff. And I don't really remember if the music, I probably didn't get the music because for me, everything was very pop. Pop music was whatever, if I was hearing stuff, it was usually that, whatever top 40 shit was going on. But so yeah, I was totally scared of punk until like 16, 17. And for me, it was Nirvana that kind of opened the floodgates of then like seeing Pixies, stuff like that, like kind of just rabbit hole off of some of those bands or whatever, reading in Spin magazine. Oh, he really likes Pixies. And I'm like, oh, I gotta check out
Yep.
Pixies and shit. But and then it wasn't until probably in my mid 30s that I actually started like digging for punk, like old school punk, like the Dead Kennedys and Minor Threat and Bad Brains and shit like that. It's funny because I bought a Bad Brains or a Minor Threat record, and it was basically I didn't know who they were. I knew I had heard of them and whatnot, but I could not tell you what they sounded like at the time. And I had the record player set to like the slow RPMs, thinking it was and so it's like, what happened to you? And I'm like, I don't know if I like it. I don't know. And I probably listened to it for a week before I then like got the free digital download and actually downloaded it and heard, and I was like, oh, you idiot, you fucking idiot. So yeah, for a long time I thought Minor Threat was like, what's the one band that's like super low singing?
Oh, Crash Test Dummies.
No, Overkill or God damn it.
Crash Test.
No, I'm not thinking. I'm thinking of the Summer Breeze. Typo Negative. Yes, I thought Minor Threat was basically like Typo Negative.
That's great.
So kind of what bands then would you say influence your sound? And let's start off with if somebody has not heard I Got Worms, describe your sound, and then how did we get there?
Your basic Ramones core, maybe. You know, I don't know.
With a hint of country.
Punk, yeah, like a punkabilly. If Buck Owens and Ramones join forces.
But then there's like also like there's an element of humor to it that like like I almost want to say like the presidents of the United States a little bit.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Like I really like that sort of humor, and I feel like a lot of bands that lean into humor are always really raunchy, but like we're not that.
More silly.
Yeah,
Right.
just like silly, goofy.
Subtle
Yeah.
about it too. Not
Like don't take it too seriously.
right.
Like, but
What's a good example of that? Like in one of the songs or something like that really you feel like that's our sense of humor.
Probably Dog Dung.
or Give Me That Rat.
Yeah, give me that rat
yeah.
too. Because Give Me That Rat's literally like probably has like 10 words in the song. And it's literally, hey kitty kitty, I say to my cat, you know, take a look around, where's that? Hey kitty, I say to my cat, comes running in with a mouthful of rat. And then the chorus is just give me that rat. That's it.
Yeah.
I just said the whole song to you.
I
But
love
it's
that.
fun. It's a fun song. People say that they like it. It's stupid. I never thought like it was probably like the very first song that we wrote like together,
Yeah,
I guess. And kind of almost like as a joke, you know, just as we're messing around, and then it's like it just stuck and we keep playing and it's fun, but it's stupid, you know.
Right.
But in a good way, I guess. So
What do you think, Austin? Like when it comes to the sense of humor of the band, because clearly, like you carry the sense of humor of this band. I can tell, like the comedian of the group. But when you first met and you guys were kind of jiving, did you feel like that was going to be the thing? Is like, okay, we're kind of like silly and wacky, and you know.
Yeah, I think I knew that was.
What do you do as a drummer, like while you're performing, that you feel like accentuates that?
Oh, I don't know. I don't really.
Are you like back there making eyes at people, or like
No.
you find your spots to tell a joke between songs, or?
No, I usually don't lean into it so much, but maybe I should be.
You probably should start.
Yeah, maybe I should.
come up with a shtick for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll write some jokes for you after we're done today, and
Okay.
like, you can start sliding them in.
Every time we have a break, he always complains because we don't take long enough breaks.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
we're not perhaps the best at like just having stuff to talk about up there. So we'll have a scheduled break, and about 5 seconds we're in. I'm like, okay, here's another song.
Yeah, I'm literally in the middle
Yeah.
of my drink.
Yeah, he's middle of drink, and we're like, we panic, and we're like,
Right.
okay, here comes
Yeah.
the next song. So if you have like some jokes queued up, that'd be the time
Yeah.
for it.
Okay.
I think
just
it's
start- I'll
clear,
start
like he's
stalling.
been sitting on some stuff, and you just don't give him a chance.
I know. Gotta let him shine.
I think so.
So, what are some shows that you guys have coming, like outside of the sex? Is that the only show that you've got right now on the books, or?
Wasn't there something in August?
So we've got Saturday's show. I think next in July we have a house show, which should be cool. We haven't done a house show before.
House shows are the best.
And again, that came from like we played at Crownless Crest. Are you familiar?
Say it again, because
Crownless Crest.
Nope.
It's a garage.
Yeah.
Like there's a house
Here in
and it's a
Indy?
garage.
Yeah. It's just some dude's garage. He opens up the door and it's like, and he has a paved, big paved like driveway. And so it's an awesome place. Awesome. It's a really cool venue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trash
Um,
barrel fire going and stuff. It's totally awesome.
Yeah. But that was another show where it's like, there was a few people there or whatever. But one of the guys that was there was like, hey, we want to book you for a house show. So that should be fun. And then I think August we're trying to there's a what's the band? We agreed to do a show with a band that's gonna be in town on August 30th, but he's having trouble finding a venue.
No Tag Backs from Chicago. They're trying to get down here, but everything that
Yeah, I mean, you got to book stuff so far
everything's booked.
ahead of time.
It's
it's
definitely.
It's like if they wanted like a punk rock night, it was like, well, good luck. You should ask like last year, So it's a lot of stuff books up quickly.
Actually, I think they just want the Friday one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
I don't know. So yeah, a couple of shows coming up, and then we're doing some recording in a couple of weeks down in Louisville. So
yeah, what took you to Louisville for the recording? Like,
Austin
I
moved
to Louisville.
So you're recording at his studio?
Oh no,
La La Land in Louisville. I think I think a lot of the local punk bands record there down in Louisville. The local Louisville punk bands, that is. I think that's a popular spot.
Have you guys played the Louisville punk rock night?
Yeah.
Yep.
Couple times.
Yeah.
We played once so far. I think are we still like scheduled to do another one of those sometime?
Yeah, I think August 16th we're playing with God Awfuls and Remote Controls. It's a Saturday.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
That'll be a good
one.
show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a real good time in Louisville. What is that? The Mag Bar? Is that where you guys played too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Both
I think
times.
because I think they've got like a couple of different.
Yeah,
venues
they
that
bounce
host
around a
out of.
bit.
So
I don't remember. Remote Controls played down there at some other venue that they thought was really great. I can't think of what
Portal.
that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Portal.
Yeah.
I've not been there yet, but I've heard good things about it.
So what you guys talked about recording? Where are you at in that process so far? Have you?
We are
just got the songs together that you want to record?
Oh yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. We've rehearsed. We got all 12 of them ready in the pipe and well rehearsed, and been playing a few of them live. So, but yeah, we're ready to. We should get, pretty much everything done, because we have 2 days, that Saturday and Sunday of this, the 22nd, 23rd.
Yep.
And so we should be able to get most of that done.
And we already have a couple songs that we've recorded for the album. We did a couple at Postal.
Yeah, I guess Forum's already done.
Yeah, and then the ones that we did at the Pink Room with the Remote Controls for the split EP that we did for them, we're gonna put that on the album too. So
But yeah, hopefully by before the end of the year, easily probably this fall, this winter, we should have another album dropping. So
Yep.
Is there already like a song that you're like, I can't wait for motherfuckers to hear this song? Like,
yeah, there's been a few we haven't played live that's like we're pretty excited about. And then it's like I can't wait to get some, a couple of them that we have been playing live recorded, because I think it's gonna record pretty good.
I'm really excited about World War III.
That one's that one. And this is the first time that we're all recording as a band instead of me and studio drummer. It's like we're all doing our own thing, recording our own stuff, our instruments and stuff. So
now, do you guys feel at all nervous about that? Like first time in the studio, or are you like just kind of excited at this point?
I'm excited.
I'm nervous.
I was when a few months ago we recorded the first time as a band, the first song of this album. And I was nervous because I didn't know how it was going to go. I knew how the process I'd done for the previous two albums went very smoothly. And it's like, well, when you add more people, it's like you never know. But it went just excellent, very smooth, just like we rehearsed. So
yeah, I find it like usually like the recording process to me is fairly nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
And I'm like such a perfectionist and whatnot. And so yeah, I hate the actual like playing on the record, because it's like if I'm on stage, I can play a song without thinking about it at
Right.
all
Yeah.
and do it a million times. Then when it's like, okay, we're hitting record,
You
it's like,
automatically forget
oh
everything.
man,
Yeah.
I'm sloppy all over the
Yep.
place. Damn it. Can we redo that? Like, oh,
Yeah.
that wasn't quite the right speed or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
You guys do like click track or no click track?
Well, we've done both. The Pink Room, we didn't.
Yeah, I don't
We
think we
didn't
did.
at all.
Yeah, I
But
don't
then
think
at
we did.
Postal, he insisted that we try using the click track, which I think was a big help.
Mhm.
It fucks me up so bad.
Depends on the song for me. Like them two we done at Postal, in my opinion, was difficult. Where the two that we done in the Pink Room was like just real simple, straightforward bangers, you know.
Mm.
So on a, I don't know, maybe on a more
Yeah, I mean, it
difficult
just depends
song,
on the song
yeah.
whether we kind of need that or not. But
I think that's the thing, like, especially like Tight Like a Tiger is probably like my main recording that I've done and actually going to studios and stuff. But it's like there's so much nuance to like little timing things that it's like if we were really just set on it's going to be this, like but we kind of drag the beginning a little bit or a little, you
Right.
know, this or that. And how do you, I don't know, I've never worked with anybody in the studio that had the patience to be like, okay, so it's going to be this for a second and then we're going to speed it up to where it's here by the time, like, I don't know, I don't even know if it works fucking
Right.
that way. But yeah, I felt like when we recorded with Koosh, like that was ideal for me. Like just bang out the songs and then we'll fucking work on that shit.
yeah, yeah.
So you say you're hoping to have that out before the end of the year. I'm guessing we're going to get another music video then
Oh, yeah.
too, right?
Oh,
Maybe a
times
couple?
12.
Times 12, yeah.
Yeah, we have 24 music videos for 24 songs
Okay.
so far. So.
Yeah, so we'll be working for
Every
36.
song gets a music video.
Yeah.
Now, are the music videos like connected to each other? Do we have like storylines running through them? Or?
So far, no. They've just been.
I've reused characters before, like because we do a lot of like character type stuff.
I guess there has been.
So I've reused
Better.
character in
Yeah.
a few, but
She has a character, Pete Peters.
he's a cop.
He's a cop. He has a mustache, and he's made reoccurring roles along with his brother Bobby Peters. He's a coroner, and his older brother Greg Peters. He's a lawyer, and he'll make.
He hasn't shown up in
He'll
the
make an
video yet.
appearance. But
I wasn't aware of such deep lore.
Oh yeah, this is what we talk about when we hike.
I know.
Uh,
It's like, all right, let's come up with some ideas.
Yeah.
While we're hiking. Sorry, God.
and but yeah, we're gonna try to make along with the family, the Peters brothers family. You know, we're gonna start making, I think, more continuity in them. You know, maybe even a part 2 or more of the same
true.
characters or whatever. But try to make more of a storyline. I'd love to make like a part 1 through 12 where it all just told one big 40-minute story. That'd be awesome.
Like Nick Sweat dream.
Oh yeah. And it's like because
Wait,
it's
you
like
just told me. Can we do that?
That's what I'm talking about. See, because our number one passion before music was videos, like Vine. We started off on Vine, and then went to YouTube, and then TikTok came out, which was totally awesome. And then now everything has the reels and shorts and everything, which is perfect because we love making short, funny little stuff. And so that's why we make all the videos, music videos.
All I can hear is Royal Rumble. That's what it's all about. Is making those promos, you know.
Yeah. And you have so much content. You take a clip from one of those 24 videos and you can get content every day from it on the shorts and reels and stuff. And people really appear to like that. Not, because reels and shorts and all that, TikToks, they go out everywhere and people enjoy seeing that content. I love seeing content.
Well, he always says if you don't like the music, turn it on mute. You'll still be entertained by the video.
Turn it on mute and you'll still be entertained.
Do you guys have like a favorite one that you've done or one that went like the most kind of like viral or anything like that?
I think my favorite. So we did one for Dog Dung. We did one where I had a couple.
The Avatar one?
Yeah, the Avatar one where we did. What did we do? We did the 2 different avatars. So like the cartoon Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then Na'vi, the blue avatars. And so we had a thing where like the band was like turning into their superhero outfits, which was we were all avatars. He was Navi, and then we
Yeah.
were like, you know, from the
Oh, I
cartoon.
was Aang.
Yeah, you were Aang, and I
You were
was Korra. And we fight the bad guy. And
Oh yeah,
it's
well
just-
there was a purse snatching happening.
yeah,
That's what's happening.
Yes. So
we
the
had
band goes to save. We turn on our superhero costumes, and
Yeah.
The bad guy and the cop in the music video.
No.
I don't know why
The postman.
Postman.
But no, that was probably one of the better videos we done. Pedigree was also really good because that
yeah,
was
we
like,
actually played music in that one.
yeah, we was like pretending like we was playing, and we looked really cool doing that.
Austin, do you have a favorite one?
Dog Dong for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now these are the actual music videos that you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what about like with the shorts and stuff? Is there another element there, or is that basically what we were talking about this whole time?
Pretty much, yeah, because you can take clips, you know, from one of the music videos, say Dog Dung. You know, you just take a 5, 6, 7, 8 second clip of a funny part, and then post that on reels or shorts, and you know, so there you go.
Yeah. Yep.
And because I think people prefers watching the shorter, quick little short videos versus a whole 2-minute, you know, music video.
Yeah,
that takes forever. They just want to get, but like I'll grab like the funniest part, you know, the funniest 5 seconds there, and post it on a reel, and you get thousands of views. You know, people loves it. Where they would never watch the music video. We never could have got them there. That's just kind of where the
And it's just like it's in fits with our passion. Like we enjoy making comedic, silly
Right.
videos, so it's like it works out great.
Oh yeah. So I had an idea while we were talking. That's why I took my camera off. I would like to do. I got 5 on it for the first time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got 5 on it. Here is Ichabod Crane. I got worms.
Shot my shot, everything I got. It's not so hot, so I'm gonna try. All hunkered down to cover some ground. Wherever I'm bound, I'll never be found. Chase me out of town on an old dirt lane. You got me scared half to death like Ichabod Crane. Chase me out of town on an old dirt lane. You got me scared half to death like Ichabod Crane. I don't know if Bo is gonna blow. I got the Lords of October on my stereo. Yes, I made my bed. If I wind up dead, I ain't losing my head for something I said. Chase me out of town on an old dirt lane. You got me scared half to death like Ichabod Crane. Chase me out of town on an old dirt lane. You got me scared half to death like Ichabod Crane. Chase me out of town on an old dirt lane. You got me scared half to death like Ichabod Crane. Chase me out of town on an old dirt lane. You got me scared half to death like Ichabod Crane. Scared half to death like Ichabod Crane. Scared half to death like Ichabod Crane. Scared half to death like Ichabod Crane.
All right. So, what was that again? What was the name of that?
That was called Ichabod Crane.
Ichabod Crane. Tell us the story about that song. I still have music in my. Okay. Tell us about the history of that song. What's that about?
That one is a story about just a fictional story. It's fake, right?
Yeah.
Fiction,
About like Sleepy Hollow, like the
Um,
actual.
and it's about referencing Ichabod Crane. It's about a guy he screwed up, so he's running for his life, and and it's like running like and that's where
Running away like Ichabod
yeah,
Crane.
that's where the reference comes in, because Ichabod Crane is running for his life, so
Mhm.
but yeah, that's the story of that. And
Cool.
and it's like it's a cool to reference, Ichabod Crane. Who's ever referenced Ichabod Crane? But
yeah, I never even considered it.
yeah, and it's like, and it hit me when I heard Ichabod Crane. It's like, that's the coolest name in the world. You got to say that. So,
and I think Chef was able to pull up. We actually have some of the videos that we were just talking about, so we can show those to you guys too.
That's right.
I hear that out there, but not in my headphones, Playboy.
Where'd it go? I don't understand. Sorry, guys. It's
Oh, you're
weird.
good.
Huh.
Mess up again, one more time. Take my place at the end of the line. Try to play dumb, who could it be? Everyone's looking and they're looking at me. Got that feeling like my
Here we go.
got wrong.
There you go.
There we go.
Messed up again, one more time. Take my place at the end of the line. I try to play dumb, who could it be? Everyone's looking and they're looking at me. Got that feeling like my bill got wrong. And I stepped in a pile of fresh dog dung. Can't be shook and hit for my crew. Nothing left to do, take it off of my shoe. When I got home and opened the door, all of my stuff scattered on the floor. I guess I messed up one more time. Take my place at the end of the line. Got that feeling like my bill got wrong. And I stepped in a pile of fresh dog dung. Can't be shook and hit for my crew. Nothing left to do, take it off of my shoe. Got that feeling like my bill got wrong. And I stepped in a pile of fresh dog dung. Can't be shook and hit for my crew. Nothing left to do, take it off of my shoe. Got that feeling like my bill got wrong. And I stepped in a pile of fresh dog dung. Can't be shook and hit for my crew. Nothing left to do, take it off of my shoe. Nothing left to do, take it off of my shoe. Nothing left to do, take it off of my shoe.
So you disarmed him with your weirdness.
yes.
And that's another clip.
Hey, a few technical difficulties here and there. Other than that, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I think that we do really good though for, completely self-taught,
Right.
no lessons,
Oh,
You do.
So that video was so much fun, and I think that definitely the sense of humor comes through. I love the message to it, because like violence isn't always the answer. Sometimes you can just start acting weird, and
This is true. Confuse people,
Yes.
they're disoriented.
Well, officer, yeah, somebody broke in my house, so I just started acting weird. Right? And they left.
You have to out crazy the crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So, with the next album and video, was there already like some ideas kind of popping around for what we might see in like the next video? Is it?
We've discussed all the
Yeah,
videos.
do I know what any of our ideas are? No, but
No, are they
we have
coming out
'em.
in the order of the songs on the album? Is it that like kind of song one, video one, song two, or is it going to be more kind of spread out?
we usually did like almost like our favorite to our least favorite, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Because come out with like a bang, and
Yeah.
then it's like,
Yeah.
they're
You should
not
do
all
the
going to be
reverse order
winners.
so that your energy is in the ones that aren't your favorite, and like so then when you get to the end to your favorites, you'll still be at the same energy.
Yeah.
Like, because then if you're like doing the songs, and you're like, these are not our favorite songs.
Well,
Probably
it's not
gonna be
even
the best video, guys.
It's not even really based off of favorite song or not. It's just whichever videos are like not our favorite, we just release those later. It's really the factor
Right.
because it's like,
I guess we don't make the video for the song, right?
well, we do somewhat,
Sometimes.
but they're not always completely connected.
Right. Yeah.
So,
There's really no rhyme or reason.
no,
or
I guess
order
that's the point.
of what we do.
And sometimes we start releasing before we're done filming stuff. It's just
Sure. Well, I mean, when you're doing 12 videos,
yeah. We
right?
we have time.
Yeah, you can stagger those out. And
Yes.
So, what was the first video that you put off then? You said there's one for every song on the 2 albums so far. What was the first one?
The very first one was for Run, the song Run, and it was a story. It was a true story about a guy, an investment company over in like in the Terre Haute area, and he swindled a bunch of old people out of their retirement money through some Ponzi scheme, and he ended up going to prison. But it was interesting because it was a family business, and he had his sons working for him.
I feel like I remember hearing this story.
Yeah, it was huge too, and all of his sons, and including him, they all like when they discovered, oh crap, the FBI's coming tomorrow, we're busted. They like ran. They like ran away. It's like, who does that? Trying to live undercover. Well, they all got found, and and they all got in trouble. But the old man went to prison. He'll die in prison. Because he got like a 50-year sentence. And he was already like 70. But anyways, I wrote a story about that.
And that video, I think, is just like news clip.
And it was
it's basically showing the real story, the real people.
Yeah, it was like a lyric video with like news clippings and video footage from the trials and stuff, and that I just kind
of made a montage of it.
And that was the first one. And I'd say the second one, the one that the first time we worked on one together, probably Ichabod Crane.
I was thinking that one.
Yeah.
That was
really.
Yep.
Yeah. And that was the first appearance of Pete Peters.
And then fast forward to the next album, though. The very first video we made was, and we all was in it. It was the first one. Austin was in with us.
Can't Hold a Candle.
Can't Hold a Candle, and that was
where we're like a boy. We're like pretending we're a boy.
Yeah,
band.
it's like a '90s boy
we
band.
do like little
Picture
dance
NSYNC
moves
from,
and
like, the
looking
90s.
emo
Yeah.
and.
Have you guys heard of what is it? Oh, damn it. Taste the Biscuit. You know who I'm talking. Dennis knows it. Who is that? So they have actually so we caught through TikTok this Takes the Biscuit video. Fucking hilarious. Kind of like what you guys are talking about, doing the reels. So it was just a short kind of clip of the song. And I get looking into them, and it's basically they made a movie of, and it's just this weird, funny old they've got their little band where he's playing piano, she's singing, whatever. Kind of harkens back to the SNL thing.
Yeah.
And they got a guy managing, and so they've booked this tour for these different places or whatever. But I want to do something like that so bad, make an album, but then make a movie that's got the songs kind of
Right.
whatever,
Yeah.
Right.
I think that
That'd
would
be
be so
cool.
cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
So when back in the day for us, we used to, before there was really the TikTok stuff and whatnot, we started out, we always made little short 30-second, 1-minute commercials for our shows that were coming up. And man, we got some just hilarious ones from back in the day that were so stupid. I think my favorite one we did was probably for the Shelby Underground. Either that or some of the Razor Ramones back and forth was really good. Some of the shit we did for WrestleMania was super good. But in the vein of that first run where it wasn't about wrestling shit, and we made this one where I'm digging them, and you can see the just my head and a shovel coming, and I'm digging, and we were playing the Shelby Underground Music Festival, and there's like 30 bands, and I'm like, I'm digging my way to the Shelby Underground Music Festival. And he's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, yeah, man. And I start naming all these bands, and there's like 30 bands. So I'm like even saying some of them twice and shit, like not knowing as I'm trying to get through them. And he was like, man, there's still tickets available. And I can't remember like my little thing, like, but it was kind of like, all those bands for $15, you must think I'm crazy. And I keep digging. I don't know.
Okay, this makes me want to do commercials now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a
Like-
great way, like for shows.
Yeah, because we've made a couple of like commercial type things, but it was just like showing the bands live. Like it wasn't
Yeah,
anything
sure.
like creative or new or anything like that. So that I kind of want to do that
Scripted
now.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we had this one where it was just because, I mean, we wouldn't put much if we were thinking about it too long.
Oh, right.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like you're not going to do it or it's too hard. Like, keep it really
Keep it
simple, or
simple.
whatever. Like the one where we just did the, like, in the car and we're hopping, like, we're sitting in the car in the driveway, but we're driving like, oh, we're on our way to Melody Inn for whatever, you know, like.
I love it.
For Mr. Click, draw blood, fiber, and what's his name? Whatever Graves.
Yeah, but like
Michael
our you know was always to like make sure we're getting like at the Melody Inn, it's these bands and it's only $15. Show starts at 8, but in like this funny way of
Right.
delivering it or
Yeah.
whatever. Man, watch out! Oh, and then like the video stops with fun stuff. So what are like with your guys' merch, what all do you have t-shirts? Do you have like the buttons and the stickers and all the good stuff?
We have shot glasses.
Yeah. Because the albums, the first and second albums are called the first shot and the second shot.
Yeah.
So naturally, you
Shot
have to have
glasses,
shot
yeah,
glasses.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's-
and we do have gummy worms again on brand.
Oh yeah.
So
Like actual, like where you've made your own bags with the gum, put the
Wow.
gummy worms and they say, I got worms.
or we got online and sent a company our logo. and-
Yeah,
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
better. Yeah, we did Republican Sex Blanket had ranch sauce on it. That started from a reel or whatever where it was like, should we put out ranch sauce? And I thought it was so funny. Like I think William was just fucked up and he kept saying ranch sauce. And I'm like, dude, it's so funny. Like nobody says ranch sauce.
Yeah,
You know, it's like ranch dressing, maybe.
Thank you, because I was
You
like,
know?
something about this sounds weird.
Right.
Ranch
Right.
sauce.
Yeah. So I loved it. And I was like, I made at my work little things to put on ranch, like what you would get at McDonald's, because our whole thing was having bottles and I couldn't find it. Like, so I made like ranch minis, you know,
Mhm.
and then and like William made ranch bottles or whatever. It was like Republican Sex Ranch, you know, ranch
Mhm.
sauce. But
That's so random,
That
which
is.
makes it great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, and then one time, like we're at Dennis's and there was like a stick of butter next to a sliced lime.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh man, buttered limes tonight. Let's go, guys. And so like started this whole thing of like, oh, we're selling buttered limes at our shows and shit. But we
That's
since like the
fantastic.
buttered limes are kind of a pain in the ass, like bringing
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a tub of butter and a bag of limes with you and shit. So like we always just have on there now, like they're sold out.
That's good.
Oh, I love that.
So the shot glasses, that's a good move, especially if you've got a couple of albums like first shot, second shot. Is there anything that like I got worms that we are thinking like we really need to get this or that? I think the gummy worms, obviously.
Yeah, the
like,
gummy
was
worms
the
was
big
really
one,
fun.
golden.
Yeah.
Because we didn't start out with those. It was just one of those of like, I'm sure somebody suggested or something, but it's like,
Yeah, I think so.
You kinda just
Somebody
have to.
literally said, as we never thought of it, like obviously gummy worms should be the number one thing.
yeah,
But somebody mentioned it and it was like, okay, you're right.
yes, we do need that.
Yeah. Vinyl was another one. Everybody's always asking for vinyl, but
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
It's like I've looked into it, and it's
Yeah.
like to print that many and that cost
Mhm.
is just
That's my dream of like as a musician or whatever is to get something on vinyl. You
That would be
know,
awesome.
I really want that album on vinyl. Like, but so far it's like there's just never the money to get behind putting stuff. But kudos to all the bands that do have
Oh, yeah.
vinyls. Like when
I
they
know.
come and they show up,
and
with
I
I'm
love the
like,
vinyl. We bought a little record player, you know, and we actually play the vinyl, and it's so awesome, and it's a totally different feel to have a vinyl going, and
Yeah.
it's even so cool because we only have like I think one Covert Flops, I think, is the only one we have
of
of
like punk
local
music.
band?
Yeah.
of local vinyl. And it's like, but it's totally awesome to be hearing them on freaking vinyl.
Yeah.
And I'd love to have more locals.
Yeah.
We need to figure out a way for like all the bands that are like fucking cool with each other and shit to start like doing maybe more splits or
Yeah.
whatever. Figure out a
Mhm.
way that we can like start getting vinyls out and like all maybe kind of working together to make it something where we can afford to do it. Because I'm guessing there's other bands that are like in that same boat where it's
Oh,
like
for
we want
sure.
the vinyl,
Yeah.
we want the vinyl, but like who's got $1,200 to make 50
Exactly.
fucking records? You
Right.
know,
I know.
or like 100 records, like because I mean that's the thing with vinyl, you can't like
No, you can't just be like,
do
I want
20
10.
of them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Because that was like my intention at first. Like, let's just get 10, 20, see how it does. And then after researching, it's like, oh, that's not a thing. Like, a lot of them are
Mhm.
like 200 minimum.
Mhm.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, that is so much money. Like, maybe we'll make it back someday. But
See, that's why I'm so salty about like CDs failing,
Yeah.
because CDs were the perfect
I
fucking
know.
like DIY
Yeah.
dream. Like I can get the fucking album on my computer. I can sit there and go buy fucking blank fucking
Mhm.
disc and little labels to put on them. And if I like, you know, all the jewel case, like I could get everything I needed to put that CD out, make 100 copies of myself, spend maybe $40 doing it outside of the recording, you know? So it's like, the fact that we killed that, it's like
I know.
Yeah.
How the hell did that
sucks.
die? I don't
Yeah.
know.
It was so much easier, you know, and making zines and fucking like just doing all the shit. Now, I mean, on some levels, it's easier now, and people would be like, "Oh, you're just old." Like people don't want the CDs or whatever,
Right.
but you got digital. It's like, yeah, but like when you got something, and that's why the vinyl is kind
Yeah.
of so important. When you've got something where it's like, I've invested in you. I'm gonna go home and listen to this vinyl album. Like there's something to that
Yeah.
experience,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
well,
What
and you like the idea of like somebody going home and like listening to it cover to
Mhm.
cover, you know, whereas
Yeah.
it's streaming, it's just like somebody's going to add a song to a
Right,
playlist, you
right.
know. So,
Yeah,
and the flip side, obviously, streaming being you just get more, you have the opportunity to get more exposure. So
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
but the
can't complain on
actual like
that.
the little things that as like artists that we think about that we're putting into, like I want this album to flow from this song to this song just right, and I want to, you know, the album art to go with it, and all this different things that we're like obsessed with doing and putting out. And it's like nobody cares about
Yeah.
like 90% of the packaging of it, the list of those songs. They'll never listen to it from beginning to end.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
hate it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a different
When I was a
world, yeah.
teenager, it was all about like getting the new Smashing Pumpkins album
Yeah.
and listening to that
From
thing
cover to
from
cover, yeah.
fucking beginning
The
to
whole thing.
end.
And
you
especially
know?
if they had the liner notes with all the words, you know,
Mhm.
you'd fall, and it's like, but yeah, nobody gives a shit about that no more.
And I think that that's part of why music is starting to like, I don't know, there's interesting corners now for music in people's lives. Like it's not the same as it was when I was a kid. Like, you know, people definitely have different compartments that they're putting their playlists and whatnot.
Mhm.
And it's definitely more like I'm going to listen to 150 artists today, not
Yes.
one
Yeah.
artist all
Yeah.
day long.
Mhm.
You know, but we're at the point where we got to wrap up the show, guys. I got a few shows to tell everybody out about coming up this week. So thank you so much. I got Worms for joining us.
Thank
Austin,
you.
Jen, Dave, really great to meet you guys. And
Yeah.
hopefully we'll a few shows down the line or whatever. We'll come play in Terre Haute with
Yeah,
you guys. That sounds
absolutely.
like that would be fucking cool.
Mhm.
And we'll get you on the show again sometime once you guys have
Yeah.
actually like had some success and whatnot. You know.
Oh,
You- not yet, but once we've had success.
Yeah.
I'm not wasting more time on you.
No, really great to meet you guys though, and thank you so much for sharing the time with us today. I really appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Thank you.
All right, so let's tell you guys a little bit about some shows coming up this coming week, two, whatever. I don't know. I know there's a lot to tell you about. So coming up, we got Long Shot. Yep, Lake Woods and LCD and Andrew David Weber. That's tonight at Long Shot. And then there's Black Circle, there is a comedy show tonight with 6 different comics, and I think actually like a lot of their stuff starts at 8:00. So yeah, if you're looking for some laughs tonight, go check out the Black Circle. And then we've got coming up on June 11th at Maryland Rose Center, it's Kung Fu Vampire with Action Paxton. Some other special guests on that show. That is June 11th, Tuesday show at the Maryland Rose Center. Then Tuesday at Longshot, we've got Isaac Rother and the Phantoms, Loser Brat, and Wet Denim. That's going to be a banger show at Longshot. And then let's see, on June 15th, we've got the you're beating me to that one, I think. Well, let's go back to that. Let's go ahead and tell people. I don't know that it's even written on here. Our band, me and Shep's band, Red Lighters, is playing this Friday at the Melody Inn with Circle City Deacons and James the Boneless out of Chicago. Circle City Deacons, basically legends in this town. So awesome for us. Just our second show, and we get to open for Circle City Deacons. Pretty fucking cool. So super excited about that. And then we've got on Saturday the PRN Pride with Killing Pixies, the Enders, and Come Out Fighting, and PRN Pride show. So big show every year that they do for Pride Month there at PRN at the historic Melody Inn, by the way. And then at the Hoosier Dome Saturday night, all ages show, you got the Fluorescence and 4 Stars and Moonside. So if you're always, a lot of people we know looking to be able to go to shows and take the kiddos with them. So Hoosier Dome's a great option for that. And they put on a lot of great shows there too. And then last we want to make sure that you guys know to join us tonight at the Melody Inn for a special Sunday punk rock night show. We've got DUI and Triangle Fire and Republican Sex Blanket. And so, yeah, we'll see you guys there. And thanks for joining us on the show today and watching and giving us your time. It's all about supporting the local music scene, the local art scene. So if you guys ever want to be a guest on the show, you got a show that you're wanting to promote or an event, definitely shout out to us and slide in them DMs and let us know you want to be on the show. Namely Shep for that. He's the guy to talk to. Oh yeah, and we definitely got to make sure you guys know coming up, we've got the 10th anniversary Chopped Liver show. We're going to be telling you guys about this every time we get a chance between now and the 21st, which actually, man, that's going to be here before we fucking know it. I can't believe it already. But Gay Black Republican Instilling Volume at J. Clyde's going to be a fucking great time celebrating 10 years of Chopped Liver. So again, come out tonight. Join us at the Melody Inn for DUI and my band Republican Sex Blanket. Dennis, you just saw him. He's playing it. He's in Republican Sex Blanket with me as well. So, man, he's been fucking busy lately, huh? Yeah, join us. We'll see you guys. Love you. Take care.